Hey guys, what's up? This video is entitled, What is Wrong with White People? Now this video isn't just for white people. Anybody of any race can watch this video. I don't dislike anybody of any other race. This is just like, sort of like white people talking about white problems. And you can listen to it. So what's wrong with white people right now? White people are suffering from a lack of leadership. White people are completely unorganized. White people don't work together. And white people's children are being miseducated by strangers. So most white people, they send their children to public school, right? So they send them to a bunch of strangers, and white children are being taught a curriculum that makes white people the villains of history and teaches white children to hate themselves, and basically is teaching white children that they should live in a race-mixed civilization or society. Now, let's take Jewish people, for instance. Jewish people, they don't send their children to public school. Jewish people send their children to Jewish school. And, Jewish school is not a public school. It's a private school for Jewish children. You don't see the whole public going to Jewish school. You see only Jewish children going to Jewish school. And I think that's a smart move by Jewish people. So Jewish people send their children to Jewish school, which I think is a good idea on their part. And when the children are there, they're taught by Jewish rabbis or Jewish men and women, teachers, and they're taught about the history of their people. They're not, Jewish children aren't taught to hate their own people. They're taught about the history of their people, and they're taught to work together as a people and to respect their culture and respect their history and respect each other, and to work together as a unit. Jewish people have solidarity because they, from the beginning, when they're children, they go to Jewish school. And I think that's a great idea by Jewish people to send their children to Jewish school, to teach their children what they want to be taught themselves, and teach them solidarity, and don't let them be taught by strangers who hate them. So I think that's a good idea. White people should copy those ideas off of Jewish people. I think they're good ideas. So white people should send their children to European school. So white people, we need our own leadership, which we don't have right now. So white people need to create European school, and European school will be the same as Jewish school. European school will not be a public school where everybody can go. European school will be for European children. And when European children go to European school, they'll be taught by European men and women, and they'll be taught the history of Europe, history of their people. They'll be taught to work together as a team and to have solidarity. Because right now, you have European children going to public school, and the curriculum at public school is it's written and being created by people who hate Europeans. It's like all you parents out there, you white parents, you're sending your white children to public school to be brainwashed by people who hate our race. So from a young age, European people are being brainwashed in public schools to hate their race, and they're being taught to, they're basically being taught the Kalergi plan. European people are being taught to have a racially mixed society and to get a spouse of a person of another race. And people of other races are cool. Now, when Jewish people send their children to Jewish school, they're not teaching them to get a spouse of another race. I've heard a lot of rabbis in videos say to Jewish children, young Jewish teenagers and stuff, that the most important thing they can do as a Jewish person is to get a spouse of the opposite sex that's also Jewish. So I seen this video where this rabbi was saying to a young Jewish teenager, a boy, he was saying the most important thing you can do as a young Jewish man is to find and marry a Jewish woman. And then he said to a Jewish female teenager, he said the most important thing you can do as a young Jewish woman is to find and marry a Jewish man.
What is Judaism? Judaism is a religion, it's a culture, it's a people, it's a nation, it's a conglomeration of a number of different things. But I think if you break it down into units, I believe that the most important aspect and the most important segment of Judaism is the family. There is nothing within Judaism that supersedes the sanctity of the family. As a matter of fact, in Europe, before we emigrated to the United States of America, most of our life cycle events were held in our home. A bris was held at a home, a wedding, even weddings were held at home, shiva was sat at home. Everything was done and surrounding the family. The unit called the nuclear family, that is what got us here today as a people. We are a miracle. The Jewish people's existence is a miracle in the world. We should not be here. If you think about what we have gone through all the tragedies, the conversions, the persecutions, the oppression, the scattering, the diaspora, the expulsions, we should be like many other people in the dustbin of history, but we're not. We're not. We are here today, and not only are we here today, we are thriving and we are relevant. Think about a newspaper. Oh, newspapers shows where I'm coming from, an old geezer like me. But think about news stories. Every news story almost, it could have a Jewish story here, another Jewish story there, the land of Israel here. Now, how did we get here? Why are we here? And why are we relevant? And why are we thriving? And this is because of the family. Now, are we better than everybody else? No, we're not better than everybody else. Everybody's a creation of God. We're all creations of God. Do we have a different destiny? Are we given certain responsibilities as Jews? Absolutely. Absolutely, yes. More than 3,300 years ago, we stood at Mount Sinai and we said to God, Na'aseh v'nishma, we will do and we will listen. We will accept your covenant. We will be your people and you will be our protector. We then made a covenant that is unbreakable, that is still with us today in the United States of America. Now, with that said, there are a couple of reasons why Judaism would expect us to marry Jews and non-Jews. Number one, first of all, sociologically, it's much easier raising a family when you have two people that come from the same culture. I mean, that's just a fact. There's no disputing that. Number two, spiritually, when a Jew understands that they have this need to keep that covenant going and to raise a Jewish family and to raise Jewish children and to keep one generation going to another generation, it is going to be with another Jewish person. Now, Judaism allows for conversion, so people who really, really want and desire to be Jewish and want to marry Jewish have a way in. There is a way into Judaism. So we're not better than anybody else. But I believe for the continuity of the Jewish people, there is nothing like Jews marrying Jews. There is nothing wrong with other people, but for the continuation of where we are as a people and to keep that promise to God that we will be your special people, that can only happen when Jews continue to marry Jews. Because if we don't, we see what happens. There's a breakdown in our culture, and then people leave Judaism. And I'm not saying anything that cannot be backed up by reports from the Pew Report to any other reports that shows us that, you know what, that intermarried couples just are not going to be able to stay the long run as if two Jewish people marry each other.
Immediate goal and a long-term goal. The immediate goal is spiritual awareness. And the long-term goal is that there should be a Jewish people in the world. And we know that Jews that put on tefillin and keep the commandments marry Jews and raise Jewish families. And we know, sadly, the Jews who do not follow the commandments, within 1 or 2 generations, their families are not Jews anymore. I've been around the world many times, as you've heard, done a lot of crazy things. I'm going to tell you the most important thing you have to remember. About all that I learned in the world, this is it. No matter what happens, you marry a Jewish girl. That's right, your mother was right. You marry a Jewish boy. There's nothing more important in the whole world than this. Why am I telling you the most important thing is to marry a Jewish girl? All religions in the world except Judaism are based on belief. Whatever the person believes, that's his religion. He can change it every day. A Buddhist can become a Muslim with a different book. But we're not Jews because of our belief. We're Jews because of our mother. We're not a religion, we're a people. And the people go by the mother, and you want your children to be Jewish people like you and your mother. Understand? So make sure you marry a Jewish girl. And there's another reason why you better marry a Jewish girl. So your mother doesn't break both your legs.
This is very true.
And not only that, your grandmother will hold you down when she does it.
Yeah, she will. I know it's grandma.
Yeah, she will.
Okay, have a good life, guys. 1 out of 426 people in the world is Jewish.
It's pretty incredible. Small
1
number.
out of 4 Nobel Prize winners are Jewish.
I know. I recently heard that.
So get the best, buddy. You gonna marry only a Jewish girl? What?
Yes, no shiksas.
You make sure you marry a Jewish girl. All right? You promise, and the ground will swallow you alive. Everything else we can fix, but you gotta marry a Jewish girl, have Jewish kids, okay? You promise to marry only a Jewish girl?
Okay.
Okay, I'll let you go.
All right.
Why is that so important?
Because it is. My current girlfriend is not Jewish.
It's a problem.
What if I can convert
The problem with conversion is it has to be kosher. If it's going to be kosher, it means Orthodox. The house has to be kosher, keep Shabbos. And if you're not doing that, why should she do it? And the other problem is that if she converts just to marry you, it's not a kosher conversion.
Really?
She has to convert because she wants God. She wants to become a Jewish.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Find one whose mother's Jewish, all right? It'll be better for you.
All right.
I want to try to help you. The most important thing you have to remember in the whole world, no matter what happens, make sure you marry a Jewish girl.
Oh, I plan on it.
Okay?
Yeah.
And you're gonna marry a Jewish
Prayed
girl?
for a Jewish girl.
Okay, she come at the right time.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
And you be the best possible person
I
you can
will.
be,
I will.
and then you get the best possible girl. Okay?
What about love? Will love lead me to a Jewish girl?
Yeah, you have to love, but love, you fall in love with stuff you loved one night, and the next morning you didn't like it at all. You can't go by love.
No, I don't do that. I don't.
Yes, you do. You've loved stuff before that you don't love now. Right or wrong?
Like, maybe.
Love isn't enough. Love is an
Why isn't
emotion.
love enough?
I'll tell you why. All right? You got your glasses on? Here. What's it say?
Take care lest your heart be lured away and turn you astray.
It's central prayer. Don't follow your heart. You have to have the heart involved, but the intellect's got to be in charge.
It's a good point.
I didn't invent it. You put on tefillin.
I did.
And you're going to marry a Jewish girl.
I'll try.
Not try, I will.
I'll try.
I will.
I'll try.
Then say you won't marry a non-Jewish girl.
Won't marry a non-Jewish girl.
Go by places where you find Jewish girls, the kind you want to marry. All right?
I'm dating a Jewish girl now.
Okay, do
I
well.
want to marry a Jewish girl myself.
All men.
I want my kids to be Jewish.
Okay. All men, you got it. You came back to say thank you. You don't do it for that, but it sure feels good when they do.
So Jewish people, they're not letting strangers educate their children and get them to hate themselves. Like Jews are not sending their children to public school and being taught that they're the villains of history and to hate their own race and to go get a partner of another race. Jewish people are organized. Jewish people have leadership. Jewish people have Jewish schools for Jewish children. Jewish people have Jewish community centers. So white people, we should have European community centers. I like the way Jewish people are organized themselves. They have a lot of Jewish organizations, like they have the ADL that looks out for the reputation of their people. They have Jewish school where they can send their children to be taught by Jewish people, not strangers. They have Jewish community centers where they can socialize, right? So they have Jewish community centers so they can do all kinds of things in those community centers, put on plays, play sports, have little events, have food, have breakfast, pancake breakfast or whatever. And then all these Jewish people can socialize amongst themselves and make network connections and create the new leadership for the next generation of Jewish people. And I think this is exactly what we should do as white people, because white people right now, we're looking uneducated. We're sort of looking like a bunch of uneducated dummies with no leadership. And that's what we are, because there's no European school. There's no European community center. We don't have these things because, quite frankly, our children are taught in public school. We're not taught any of that stuff in public school. We're being misled by strangers. Basically, if you're like a white person out there with white children, you're a white man or a white woman, you're letting your children be misled in public school by strangers. Basically, our people are suffering from a big dose of ignorance about our history and ourselves. And so somebody out there with money has to donate the money to open a European school for European children. And I'd also like to see some European community centers open up So European people can start socializing amongst themselves and getting to know each other, and then creating some leadership for our people. We also need teachers who specialize in teaching European history to European people. Now, this is like a concept that most white people don't talk about, because every single white person I know has been taught in public school, so they all say the exact same shit. All the exact same shit comes out of their mouth, which is, mostly anti-white stuff. They say a lot of things, there's a lot of self-hating white people out there, because they've been brainwashed in public school to hate themselves. Yeah, most white people walking around have been taught that, our people are the villains of history. You're letting liars teach your children to hate themselves. I mean, it sucks to even have to make this video about this, We all should have been brought up in European schools, and we all should have had European community centers where we could socialize and just have a normal people. But our people are really just looking uneducated and unorganized. And, if you want your people to be around 1,000 years from now, you're going to have to change that. You're going to have to, some of you out there are going to have to actually make the move and create a community center for European children. And you're going to have to create a school for European children. We need European school and European community centers where we can socialize. Yeah, this isn't about creating some militant friggin', Hollywood Nazi bad guy bullshit, this is what a lot of white people get sucked into, is trying to make themselves look like villains, because Hollywood's always making it look like rebellious white people are, Nazis or something. So they're just making themselves look like ignorant morons because they haven't gone to European school or European community centers, which is just normal stuff. Just normal, peaceful stuff, man. Just, European school for children, just normal, peaceful education. And then European community centers for children and adults for just normal socializing, getting to know each other, and make connections and have all those connections you need for all kinds of stuff. So yeah, forget about all this, all this, what do you call it? All this stuff like, oh, that's the Nazis and all that shit. Man, forget that shit, man. That shit is just the height of stupidity, man. Trying to create some fucking rebel crazy army force. We just want to create what you want to do. You want to create a peaceful European community center, and you want these centers in every city. They don't have to be big, just small little community centers and European schools for European children taught by European men and women, and private schools, not public. And that's it. And that could be the leadership for our people. The community centers and the European schools and the teachers. And then also, just like the ADL has, the Anti-Defamation League for Jewish people, European people could also have the European Defamation League for our people. So if people are slandering our people, we could send European lawyers after them to sue them for slander, for trying to tarnish our name. So that's what we need. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. Jewish people are doing a good job of teaching their people. So why don't we just copy their model? It's a good model. It's a peaceful model. They just have their Jewish school for Jewish children, teaching them their own education, top of their own people. They have Jewish community centers where they can socialize and have pancake breakfasts and, socialize with their own people. And they also have Jewish organizations like the ADL to protect the reputation of their people. And they have Jewish lawyers who sue people who slander their name. And we can just do the exact same thing they do. We can copy the Jewish model, not 100%, but what I'm saying is have these institutions for European people, just the way Jewish people have institutions for Jewish people. Education is a big thing, and white people need to start stressing education for our children, and a proper education done by us and our people, not by strangers who hate us and want to brainwash our children to hate themselves with a slanted look at history, and also filled with a bunch of lies. Okay, guys, comment down below on what you think. Even no matter what race you are, comment down below on what you think about what I said. Is there anything wrong with what I said? No, I don't think so. In order for a race to survive for 1,000 years or thousands of years, you have to have leadership, and you have to take control of the education of your children. And you have to have places where you socialize and meet each other and, have the pancake breakfast for white people. Also, public schools are teaching white children from a young age to be afraid to talk about race and to teach people, if any white people talk about race, to think it's some sort of like Hollywood bad guy thing, like all the movies and stuff, right? So that's why I said in a previous video, you know, homeschool your children. I'm serious, man. White children need to be taken out of public schools. Because public schools are just mind poison for white children, man. You're just setting them up to just be self-haters. So all you white people, you need to realize you've all been brainwashed in public school to hate your people and to be afraid about talking about your people. And you know, you see somebody like me talking about race, you've been trained in public school to say, oh, racist. He's talking about race. Oh my God, he's evil. You know, no. You don't say that about Jewish people going to Jewish school. You don't say that about Jewish people having Jewish community centers. You don't say that about Jewish people who have the Anti-Defamation League who protect the reputation of their people, and they have Jewish lawyers that sue people who are slandering them. You don't say any of that stuff because Jewish people don't go to public school, and public school doesn't teach that about Jewish people. Public school teaches that Jewish people are victims. Okay, so I think I've said enough about this matter for now. So comment down below on what you think. I want you to subscribe to my channel. I don't care what race you are. I want people of all races to subscribe to my channel. And then you can hear me talking about white issues. Hit the like button, comment down below, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Peace out.